Potential to bridge cultural gaps by fostering interactions and understanding between people from diverse backgrounds. This cultural exchange can lead to greater mutual respect and peaceful coexistence. How can tourism initiatives be designed to maximize these peace-building benefits? You have 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. I'll start by highlighting the keywords in the question, and this is tourism. Tourism is the movement of an individual or a group of people from their usual environment for different purposes such as leisure or education. And then also we have different kinds of tourism, whereby we have leisure tourism, faith-based tourism. Then we also have the avi tourism, and we also have different types of tourism, whereby we have domestic, we have inbound and outbound tourism. Then we also have the tourism initiative. Tourism initiatives, these are planned actions or programs that aim at promoting, developing, and managing tourism in different destination areas or a region. And examples of initiatives that we have, they are community-based tourism. Then we also have the community-based tourism. We have the festival and event tourism. So we also have these initiatives, they're always launched by the government agencies, the private sector. Then we also have the community, the local communities, and they also focus on engaging the community, then also developing the destination areas, then also promoting and marketing the destination areas in various regions. Then peace building benefits. These are the positive outcomes that are always got from the initiatives. And some of them include economic growth. We also have the cultural conservation or preservation. We also have environmental conservation. We have improved relationships. And so I'll be going to the points. How can tourism initiatives be designed to maximize these peace building benefits? They can be maximized through the following ways. It is through promoting community-based tourism. This kind of tourism is always conducted by the local people in our societies. Like for example, here in Masindi, we have some tour operators, such as the Mood Tour Operators. It organized a tour just of recent. It was in May, and it was in Chibiro Hot Spring. And this brought people together, therefore improving on their relationship. Remember, you always interact with one another during these trips. Then also sensitizing the community to get engaged in decision making, and also in the planning of the tourism industry. This helps to cover the intentions and the needs of these local community people, so that there are no conflicts merging from maybe the developers. Maybe, for example, someone wants to put up a hotel, because these people will be informed and they will be engaged in the decision making, so they will have approved it, therefore improving on the relationships between maybe the developers or the tourists and the local community members. Then also it is through promoting eco-friendly and sustainable tourism. This is through us keeping the environment clean. For example, through this campaign for Let the Pearl Shine, which emphasizes cleanness in our societies. So by doing this, we shall be promoting, or we shall be preserving our environment and keeping it clean also. Then she's also promoted, or it can also be maximized through organizing educational tours. And through these tours, through these tours, you're able to tell people or to educate people about the history of the area so that they get to know more about it. And by doing this, you'll be promoting the culture of that area, improving on the relationships between the tourists and the local members. It is also done through organizing workshops. Okay, thank you so much. I'm kindly requesting for 2 minutes and I conclude. Okay. It is also done through joint projects that brings together the tourists and the local communities, then also through organizing workshops and seminars that bring up or that build up frameworks to resolve conflicts in the community. Then also it is done also through carrying out heritage and cultural tourism, whereby I'll use an example of the Rwenzori Food Expo, which was carried out of recent in Kampala by Queen Rachel, the heritage queen of Rwenzori, whereby it brought different people to come and taste the cultural food for the people from Rwenzori. So by carrying out all this, or through all this, the tourism initiative, through following all these factors, all these measures, the tourism initiatives this will help to maximize the peace building benefits in our societies. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Hope. Our viewers that are watching us live on Elkem TV, thank you so much for keeping it live on Elkem TV. Now, Hope, you did mention that you did mention that potential of tourism can bridge cultural gaps. Can you elaborate on specific strategies that tourists and local communities can adopt to ensure cultural respect and harmony?
May you please pardon from the question?
Can you elaborate on specific strategies that tourists and local communities can adopt to ensure cultural respect and harmony?
This can be through shared responsibilities. I'll use an example of the Machijon Falls National Park, which is shared by different districts, and the districts are Bulisa, Masindi, Kiryandongo, and Noya. And okay, for this national park being on ground, it forces different people from these different districts to come together and conserve it. So by doing that, it will be bridging the space. Because remember, people from the other side, like people from Noya, they have a different culture from the people of Bulisa, of Masindi. But through this, it will bring them together. That the tourism will be okay. Like it will bring them together. It will match them together because of that collective responsibility.
All right. Thank you so much, Hope Mbabazi. You can take your seat. All right.
Thank you.
Our viewers that are watching us live on Elkem TV, thank you so much for keeping it live on Elkem TV. But also our guests for today, thank you so much for being part and partial of this contestants debate. Now we're going to be having the second contestant. That is Asimwe Karin. Asimwe Karin, you're welcome.
Thank you, the MC.
All right. So Asimwe Karin, same protocol. You will introduce yourself, tell us your name, your clan, where you're coming from, and then the rest will follow.
Our judges, my fellow queens, and all the gentlemen in the house. I welcome you all for this debate. My name is Asimwe Karen Atenyi, Miss Tourism Contestant 2024, representing Masindi Municipality. Amwe Mukonga Kati by clan, and I'm a graduate in a Diploma of Information Technology. Thank you all for listening.
All right, now to start with, make us understand, how do you understand tourism and peace?
Thank you so much. Tourism is an activity whereby different people travel from one place to another to be able to explore different destinations, different values, and as well as different cultures. And then peace is the harmony that results from a place that has no fear and violence. A place without fear and violence is what I define as peace.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And now, Asimwe Karen, now getting straight to the question. Sustainable tourism practices not only protect the environment, but also support local economies and social structures. By ensuring that tourism development is responsible and inclusive, communities can experience long-term stability and peace, right? The question is, in what ways can sustainable tourism be promoted to achieve these goals? You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Well, I'll give a brief background regarding sustainable tourism. Well, sustainable tourism is the kind of tourism where we are focusing on the future and now. Whatever we are taking account in, we are focusing on the future and now. And then when we talk about the different sustainable tourism practices, we are talking about the principles, the practices such as environment protection, economic development, and as well as social structures. So, when we talk about ensuring that tourism development is responsible and inclusive in communities so as they can experience a long-term and as well as a stability, stable and peaceful environment, we are meaning that we are taking into account the means and principles in which we can live peacefully for a very long time, but while taking into account tourism. Some of these principles have been defined here, just as I've stated, but I'll go directly to my question on how we can promote or achieve these goals. Well, one of my submission is we can achieve these goals by supporting our local enterprises. Like, for example, we have local enterprises whereby different groups of people, local communities have started up their businesses, and they have really strategically located themselves. Let me give an example of Bomu Women's Center, which is just strategically located it is on Kijumba Gate as you're heading to March Zone Falls. So, them being strategically located means that they are ready for markets. They are up for markets. So it is us to support them, trading their businesses, and as well as inviting tourists to come and get materials from them. They make handcrafts and many other things. So that is one way we can be able to achieve these goals we are talking about. Another way is emphasizing on environmental conservation. Environmental conservation is one way we can be able to protect our environment through taking into account eco-friendly activities, and as well as waste management. By this, let me refer to one of the, let me refer to Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030 of the Sustainable Development Goals, whereby it's talking about environment protection. That is number 13. It is talking about climate conservation. So as we refer to this, we can be able to protect our environment. And another is, we are talking about collaborating and partnering with various people, like for example, Beckham. We have partnered with Beckham as Miss Tourism, and it is supporting us, it is empowering us girls, and as well as other sponsors who are partnering with Miss Tourism to bring up the girl child to this level. So another thing would be educating the tourists and as well as the local people about the tourism practices, the sustainable tourism practices, which can be taken into account to ensure from a very personal perspective that we are able to live in this world, in this region, in this country, peacefully, and as well as taking into account tourism. Another thing would be focusing on things that generate economy, such as investing in infrastructure, such as ecologies and many others. We are taking into account sustainability, but as well as promoting tourism. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Asimwe Karen. She has more minutes. Okay.
To repeat about the sustainable development goal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Asimwe. My question is, maybe you clarify or you repeat your point about Sustainable Development Goal 13. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Well, I talked about Agenda 2030 of Uganda, whereby we are focusing on many things. We have 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and including all those, I'll not start from the first one to the very last one, but all those Sustainable Development Goals are focusing on our well-being, including no poverty, zero hunger, and many others. But this in particular, it is Sustainable Development Goal number 13. It is talking about conservation of the environment. Yes, and we are taking into account, here I'll give an example of Kinyara Sugar, which really emits a lot of gases in the industry, but as well as they are able to incorporate and redirect the waste into bio something. I mean, like they transition the energy to be able to generate something else more important. Yes, so we are protecting the environment and as well as benefiting from the things we have regenerated. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Asimwe. You can please take your seat. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us on Elkem TV. My name is Elijah Kelvin Murungi, and this is the Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants debate that is for 2024, and this is our second edition. All right, so I'm going to have Pam Ndimusiima Pam Ndimusiima take us through the next motion. Okay, for first things first, your introduction, your name, where you're coming from, and the rest.
Thank you so much. Protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Ndimusiima Pam Atenyi. I'm 23 years old, and I'm from Hoima district. I am a Mobito, and I'm pursuing a Bachelor's of Art and Industrial Design, Chambago University. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Pam. Now, away from the motion, yeah, this is a quick one. If there was an opportunity for us to have a public holiday for tourism, how would you like people to celebrate it?
Thank you so much for that question. If there was a holiday or a public holiday for tourism, I would prefer us to celebrate it, trying to remember our culture, to remember our heritage. For example, the legacy of Omukama Kabalega. Because some people just listen to stories, but I would prefer us to keep it traditional, to keep it cultural, to emphasize the culture foods to be showcased, culture wares to be showcased, the traditional materials like the baskets, everything, but I would prefer everything to be cultural on that day.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate that you would prefer Omukama Kabalega and the history of Bunyoro. All right, now we're going to be speaking economics in tourism, right? So economic empowerment through tourism can reduce poverty and improve equality of life for local communities. When people see tangible benefits from tourism, they are more likely to support and participate in peace building efforts. So the question is, what are the most effective strategies for ensuring that tourism revenues benefits local communities?
Thank you so much.
You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. The question is, what are the most effective strategies for ensuring that tourism revenue benefits local communities?
The mic up.
To me, I would prefer that the strategies that are to be taken should involve the local communities. There should be a fair distribution of revenue between the local communities and the tourism industry, and as well as promoting the sustainable practices. So these are my strategies that I would prefer. Okay, the strategies that should be ensured in order for the environment or for the local communities to benefit. First of all is to encourage the community-based tourism. When we support the community-based tourism initiatives such as homestays, we try the culture performances, those ones, especially in the regions that are around the tourist attractions. For example, we have people who stay around the Machijan Falls. If those people try to follow the community-based tourism, okay, to take through the tourists through our culture and perform all the culture-based things, we take them through what we know as us, we shall be able to benefit because our culture is not dying, because our heads are a library. When you tell it to somebody else, that same person will have to inform another person. So we are benefiting because our culture is not going to die. And another example is the Ingongo Culture Center in Barara. This, when tourists go there to visit, they are always given an allowance to be taken through by the community. It's the community that shows you throughout. They show you their culture. They perform their cultural practices for the tourists. And my second point is tourism skill development. When the ministry when the government puts up across programs like training programs for the youth, for the people in the local community, to learn tourism and management, to learn hospitality, and as well as learn entrepreneurship, those same people in the community will have to gain, because they are getting the opportunity to get that knowledge which they will have to use in the future. Okay, it's more of getting informed. For example, I'm giving an example of the UTTI, Uganda Tourism Training Institute in Jinja. It has been of help because it has helped the youth within that environment to learn more about tourism. And that's the same knowledge that they use to go and educate other people or implement, because they know whatever they have learned and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the environment, and they can benefit from it because it's the it's the local government and the tourism industry. So both of them have gained something. And as well as another point from me is encouraging revenue sharing agreements. That I derive it from the Queen Elizabeth revenue agreement sharing scheme. In this scheme, it's the people around the Queen Elizabeth that gain from it, because the ministry gives them 20% of whatever the park gets. Okay, they always give the people around the park 20% of whatever they have earned to develop the people that are around the national park. And another one is employment opportunities. People get employment opportunities from tourism, because when tourists come to the country, the people within the community are the ones that act as tour guides. These are the people act as waiters. These are the people act as waitresses. These are the people act as service providers, hence giving employment to people so people won't be unemployed. So they are all gaining. The other ones are gaining knowledge, you're gaining income. And the other thing is infrastructure development. In most cases, regions where tourist attractions are, the government always makes sure that the roads leading to those tourist attractions, to those tourist sites, the roads are always well done. So it's the tourists to transport, to move, okay, it's for quick movement to wherever they are going to their destinations. And so those roads are also used by the public, by the local government, the local community. It's used by both, so both gain from that. In conclusion, when we are to get the most effective strategies for the tourism revenue to benefit the local communities, it should involve two parties, the local government and the stakeholders in the tourism industry. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That is Pam, Ndimusiima Pam. All right, you can go and take your seat. Excuse me. So our viewers, I guess by now you feel the debate, you feel what these girls are in position to deliver, but also as they get to be in these different positions, more especially ambassadors of different organizations, different entities, you get to understand what exactly they're in position to do while they are put to these positions. So the purpose of this debate, again, is to make sure that we get to put out this whole thing of beauty with brains, right? So we don't want to see these beautiful girls and then when we check on the brain, they are not in position to deliver. So that is why we have this. So our time is really fast spent, and that is why the cross-examination is quite little, but of course it will come through when it is due. All right, so we're going to be having the next contestant, that is Victoria Ndamurani. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So you're going to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Moderator. A very good evening to you all. My name is Victoria Ndamurani Abwoli. I'm from Kiryandongo district. I'm 22 years old. I'm currently pursuing a Bachelor of Laws degree from Makerere University, and I'm from the Abalebeki clan. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's start from the law itself. All right. So now she has just been mentioning about the practices, more especially she talked about agreements between the communities and also the government entities. As a lawyer or as someone that is pursuing law, yeah, how are we in position to support Pam in her initiative?
Thank you for that question. How we are able to support Pam in her initiative,
okay.
We have to understand that before a policy is implemented, there has to be a roadmap. Thank you. We have to understand that before a policy is implemented, there has to be a roadmap, and this roadmap includes contract drafting. You need consent of the people of the area in order to engage them in the agreements before they take effect. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ndamurani, Victoria. I'm so excited when I get to hear such arguments. All right, now government, we're going to speak about government and how it engages in tourism. All right, governments play a crucial role in leveraging tourism for peace building. Through policy making and investment in tourism infrastructure, they can create opportunities for economic development and social cohesion. Now the question is, how can governments balance the need for tourism development with the imperative to maintain peace and cultural integrity?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Moderator.
You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Governments indeed play a crucial role in leveraging tourism for peace building. But then the question comes, how can they balance the need for tourism with the imperative to maintain peace and cultural integrity? I'll be focusing, for this particular question, I'll be focusing on the Ugandan government. The Ugandan government plays a crucial role through various ways. The government can implement policies, laws, and regulations in order to find a balance between promoting tourism and social cohesion and social integrity. Such policies, such laws include the Uganda Tourism Board Act, the Uganda Wildlife Act. These laws seek to tackle the various ways in which these developments can foster social cohesion. Not only can they implement the laws, but they also have to enforce them. Take, for example, we have the Uganda Wildlife Authority Act. This act prohibits poaching. But guess what? Poaching is still taking place, and this is hurting the peace, and this is hurting the social cohesion in our communities. How? Take, for example, the Bunyoro. Personally, I'm of the Ngabi clan. So I have great cultural importance that I attach to that antelope. When a poacher comes, they take that antelope for their selfish purposes. We lose a lot, but then the policies are not enforced. Therefore, we need them to be enforced so that they can protect the cultural heritage. The other way that government can put a balance between development of tourism infrastructure and social cohesion is involving the community members in such developments. What am I talking about? Let me paint for you a picture. Look at the Nakaima tree that we have in Kakumiro district. This is a sacred place of worship for some people. But at the same time, I mean, personally as a tourist, I would want to go there and explore and know. But then the government has to go back to the drawing board and involve the community members as stakeholders and ask them and engage them and know how do they engage, what value do they attach to this tree, the sacredness, so that when tourists come, they are able to respect those values and those cultures of the peoples. This way, when the government brings in tourists, you find that there is a balance, there is a nexus, there is a connection between peace and promotion of the tourism. Finally, the government can also invest in education. What am I talking about? Education drives away the ignorance. You find people are around a tourist site, they don't even know its importance. They don't know how economically it can be benefiting to them. So when government comes in the aid and in the aim to develop this tourist site, they may not be welcoming to the idea. What am I talking about? The government should inform people, it should build more tourists information centers in areas. The only tourist training institute we have in the country is located in Jinja. Imagine me having to leave Masindi to go to Jinja to learn about my own culture here. So, with all the above ways, the government can promote social cohesion and find a poignant nexus between economic development of the tourist sites, and social cohesion and integrity. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Now, just before you leave, you did mention about government and how it can be in position to work with its people for peace building, more especially when it gets to getting to the drawing board. Yeah, so now let's put it for a country like Uganda. For a country like Uganda, where the government is supposed to look at omuntu wa wansi. Now, what is omuntu wa wansi in English? The local person. Yeah, we've seen very many times that government is not listening. So now, as a Miss Tourism contestant, probably you are an ambassador or you are an office like Rita's, which is the tourism officer. How are you in position to see that the people and the government are working hand in hand to see that there is that peace building, but also for things that involved fees for getting into the parks and the likes?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Those are two questions. I'll answer each separately. One, how do we make sure that even the local person, even the least informed person, is involved in the process of enhancing the tourist attraction sites and developing them? Thankfully, to our government, we have area MPs. Not only that, we have tourism officers. These people provide information to each and every person. These people are reachable. Not only are they reachable, but they also reach out to the community members and they tell them, hey, look here, we have Machison and this and this and this is going to happen. So these people are put in place to cover that bridge and that gap. The second question is on the fees that are charged to visit these various sites. Thankfully, and I appreciate the stakeholders, that when it comes to the local tourists, the rates to visit these places are quite lower than those of other people, the international tourists. Take, for example, some game parks, it's just 2,500 for a local tourist, and it's 20,000 Ugandan shillings for an international tourist. So subsidies, offers, and combos for the local tourists makes it easier and better for them to visit with the reduced fees. Thank you so much.
All right. A round of applause to Ndamurani, Victoria. I hope you're liking the debate, right? So we have about just 3 contestants to say goodbye to the 2024 Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants debate. All right, our viewers that are following us online, if you have any questions, any comments, you can be in position to drop it in the chat. Our hashtag is Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants Debate 24. Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants Debate 24. Okay, question number 5 goes to Ayesiga Daffin. Yeah, so you know the girls come gently, pola, yeah, and they get here. All right. Okay, thank you, Daffin. So now you're going to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you so much, the moderator, the judges, the queens around, the viewers, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Ayesiga Daffin, 21 years. I'm from the Nyabazira clan. I'm from the Bazira clan. I'm pursuing a course in hotel and institutional catering, certificate level. Thank you.
All right, Nyabazira clan. Okay, all right. Same question.
Yes.
If you had an opportunity to celebrate tourism, or if we had a public holiday, yeah, how would you wish us to celebrate it for tourism?
Kindly pardon the question.
If we have a public holiday, or if we have a public holiday for tourism, how would you like us to celebrate it?
Thank you very much. if at all we had a public holiday for tourism.
So we don't have a public holiday for tourism.
We have.
Okay.
Okay, I'm like, if we had, or we have already, I would sensitize people or encourage them to come out, showcase their cultures, their traditions, their ways of living. Because across Uganda, we have many tribes with different ways of living, different way of conduct, different way of expression, and we have different mindset of how we handle ourselves and how we take things to be.
All right, maybe draw for us a line between culture and tourism.
Pardon?
Draw for us a line between culture and tourism. How are the two different, and how do the two relate?
Culture, I believe culture is our way of dressing, our mother language, our traditional foods. That's what makes our culture. Tourism is the movement of people from one place to another to come, discover, learn these different cultures, different traditions, different customs, and also understand how these people conduct themselves. All right,
thank you so much. So now, Daffin, Ayesiga, are we going to speak of culture, heritage? So cultural heritage tourism can preserve and celebrate the unique traditions and histories of different communities. By valuing and protecting cultural heritage, tourism can foster pride and respect, contributing to peaceful coexistence. Now the question to you tonight is, what are the challenges and opportunities in promoting cultural heritage tourism as a means to peace?
Thank you very much, our moderator. Here the keyword is cultural heritage. As we all know, it means the roots of our culture, the background of our culture, how it came about, how it started, and how we feel proud of it. So the question is, what are the challenges and the opportunities in promoting cultural heritage tourism as a means to peace? I'll start with the opportunities. We all know opportunities, these are the doors around. And around our country, around Uganda, the opportunities we have are cultural sites. And one of the cultural sites we have Mparo Royal Tombs, where our late great king Omukama Kabalega was laid to rest, right? We have the Kijumba shrine in Chikube. With this shrine is dedicated to the Bachwezi, as we know. So if people go there and see these places, especially the shrine, they will get to know about the Bachwezi, and they learn more about them. They will get to know the culture of the Bachwezi, their roots, and what really happened to them. And if you go and at all we are to go to the Mparo Royal Tombs, we shall get to know that all about the legacy of the late Omukama Kabalega. And the second point here under opportunities, we have cultural institutes. Cultural institutes, one of them is the Uganda Museum, which promotes Ugandan cultures, traditions, and customs. It does not specify whether you're Munyoro, whether you're Muganda or Erugwa. All cultures are promoted. All cultures are put to life. People go and learn about their cultures. Children are taken there to be educated about their cultures. And another cultural institute we also have, we have the National Theatre, where people go, promote, perform, act, produce art, and we have music, dance, and drama. We have our own, the Bunyoro Kingdom. People go there, learn the Bunyoro culture. They get to know all about the Bunyoro culture. They get to know Okukama, it's the the coronation of a new king. They get to know Amwenagiro is a traditional wear of a Munyoro lady. They get to know Akaro is our staple food, our traditional staple food. And another opportunity we have traditions and customs, or our way of living, our behaviors. For example, in Bunyoro, we have Mpako, where ladies kneel when greeting. I kneel, I be like Mpako yawe. You tell me whether you are Moti, I be like Amaboli. Kneeling, calm and respectful. A boy greeting will bow down gently, greet the elders, and they will be high. That shows how respectful we are, how proud we are of our cultures. Lastly, about the opportunities, we have government bodies, where we have the Ministry of Tourism, which helps in managing, conserving wildlife, national parks, and game reserves. When it does this, animals are protected, people around are protected, and the animals are protected. Mostly these animals which are extincting are highly protected. And under the government bodies, we have agents like the Uganda Tourism Board, which helps in marketing the wildlife of Uganda. So I'm going to talk on the challenges we have. One of the challenges we have culture erosion. Culture erosion. One of the challenges we have is culture erosion, where our culture let me conclude. Where our culture is completely forgotten about and we are influenced by the Western culture. Thank you.
All right, now in response, because while we have the challenges, as Miss Tourism, Bunyoro Contestant, you should be in position to have a few solutions. Now, the influence of the Western culture on our culture, how are we in position to go about that?
Thank you very much. How we are able to overcome this problem of culture erosion, whereby we are influenced more of the Western, I would urge we have more elders to sensitize our youth, sensitize our youth, put in them the love of culture, the love of the Bunyoro culture, or any other culture, if at all you're not a Munyoro or you're Muganda. Just that can help us bring our culture back to life.
All right, thank you so much. You can take yourself a seat. There's a question.
Thank you so much, Daffin. What are cultural institutions?
Thank you very much, Judge. Thank you, Judge. Cultural institution, these are institutions that promote our culture, teach people our ways of living, and people get to know what happens within their culture. For example, we have the Uganda Museum, where people go learn about different cultures. They are taught on each and every culture, and they get to know exactly what happens. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, our contestant number 5. That is Ayesiga Daffin. Ayesiga Daffin. Thank you so much. All right, our viewers, she's been speaking of culture, and I know very many of you are, is it erosioning? Yeah, they are downplaying, you're downplaying the role of culture in tourism. But of course, with the challenges that have come through, she also did mention about the opportunities. So while we speak of all these opportunities, you should be in position to leverage them to see that we promote domestic tourism and, most importantly, Bunyoro tourism. All right, so up next is Kijumba Elizabeth. All right, so Kijumba Elizabeth will be taking us through education in tourism. But before, you can introduce yourself.
All protocol observed. Good evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. My name is Kijumba Elizabeth Akiki, Mubitokati by clan. I'm doing a bachelor's of, My name is Kijumba Elizabeth Akiki, Mubitokati, and I'm doing bachelor's of International Relations and Diplomatic Studies. Thank you.
All right. Yes, for the district, but also for purposes of interest, the clan.
Okay, my clan is Engabi clan. I come from Hoima City.
All right, thank you so much. So now we're going to be speaking of education in tourism, right? Okay, so education in tourism can play a pivotal role in promoting peace and preventing conflict. You agree? Okay. By raising awareness about cultural sensitivity and sustainable practices, tourism professionals and tourists alike can contribute to a more peaceful world, right? The question is, what specific educational initiatives can be implemented to enhance the role of tourism in peace building? What specific educational initiatives can be implemented to enhance the role of tourism in peace building? You have 5 minutes.
First of all, tourism is the movement of people from one place to another for social, cultural, and other activities, from their usual place to a place they've not been to. Then, peace can be defined as a place with no war or a place of harmony. Conflict is a place or a space with no disagreement. So my first point, some of the education initiatives that can be taken to promote peace and tourism at the same time. We have Miss Tourism Uganda. This is an educational initiative that has been taken to help us, the young girls, come out and contest. When we do this, we bring up our cultural promotion tourism sites, whereby you promote your regional site or a site that people don't know about in your region. For example, I come from Hoima City, whereby I promoted Bamboo Works Limited. People around it don't know things that happen there, whereby tourists come and take the advantage that us, the local people, have not taken. Second, the World Tourism Day that always happens on the 27th of September every year. Last year, it was in Hoima, where Kigorovia COU school was involved, and the students got a lot of things when they benefited or when they were participating in the activity that was going on. The ministry has to come up with seminars and workshops in order to promote tourism by educating the people around. For example, this has to be headed by the tourism officers of different regions so that the people or the local people can know what can be gotten from tourism, what tourism is about in their society. Because in Uganda, the Ministry of Tourism is one of the ministries that earns a lot, or the tourism industry is one of the industries in Uganda that earns the government a lot of money. Reserving cultural sites, which can also help the citizens or the local people to benefit from what they have. For example, if we reserve Emin Pasha monument at Mparo site, whereby it has no security, there is nothing that is covering it, it has no gate. So if we reserve it, tourists can come in and bring more foreign exchange, whereby that helps to promote peace in our society. Promoting tourism clubs in schools. This has to begin from the foundation, which is the kindergarten, primary to university, where different students are supposed to be taught how tourism can help the country. Sensitizing people about peace and wildlife. For example, in Hoima, we've been having an issue of chimpanzees which attack the society and kill babies. But if we sensitize the society of how to deal with the wildlife, there can be peace where the society knows what to do. If not, the ministry can put up free call tolls in case anything is to happen, or in case they are to see any chimpanzee. The society does not have to kill the chimpanzee, but instead supposed to call, and they or anyone in charge so that they come and help it so that it is not killed. Tourism can also be talked about on social media. That is another way of educating people. You tell them about tourism, you educate them about the use, or you show your different talents that can bring adventure to you, because some of us have different talents that have not been adventured or people don't know about, whereby it would bring interest if someone sees or they see something unique about you that you can do and they can't do it. Kindly please help me with 1 more minute or a second. Thank you. The encouraging of domestic tourism, where people in the society or the local people benefit from the things they have. Now, around Mparo tombs, the people around there have not benefited anything because they are only homes and other places. And if tourists are to go there, they will not have anything to buy, because when you go there, or the route to the tombs, there is nothing they sell. Conservation of the environment by encouraging afforestation and discouraging deforestation. Thank you.
All those points have been
Education is the state of acquiring knowledge. Then, about they are chimpanzees. Thank you.
All right, just one more, the last one. How are we in position to build a relationship with these animals? Yeah, because while we have them attack the babies and the likes, what can we do to see that that does not happen?
Okay, thank you so much. I believe the ministry can organize for the local people to go and visit and have a free visit to the areas, to the game reserves around, so that they can teach them the language that they also use while communicating to those animals. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. A round of applause. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the beginning of the end of the Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants Debate, second edition, or 2024. I hope we are enjoying the debate, and also I hope we're enjoying what these girls are in position to deliver, more especially as we want to entrust them with our tourism sites, with this position of Miss Tourism Bunyoro, but also when they shoot to the nationals, to entrust them with that position of Miss Tourism Uganda. So this is what they're in position to deliver, but I guess so far good. I am only wondering what the judges who I'm wondering who the judges is going to declare as the best debater or the debater of the Miss Tourism Bunyoro 2024, because for me so far everyone is okay, everyone is good, everyone is hot. Yeah, looked like there were extensions and nights for what? For this practice. Okay, beauty with brains. Now we're going to get to the last contestant, that is my namesake, Murungi Lillian. Okay, so we have a lot of Murungis here. We have Murungi Lillian, we have Murungi Jen, we have Murungi Elijah, Kwegamba, we have Karungi. Now, these things, all right, let me give her space. All right, so you're going to introduce yourself to our viewers and to our judges, plus the contestants and our guests.
Thank you, the moderator of today, the judges in the building, my fellow queens, and all the distinguished dignitaries. A very good evening. My name is Murungi Lillian Akiki, 20 years old, from Kagadi district, pursuing a diploma in cosmetology. Thank you so much.
All right. Cosmetology, I'm very interested. I can see the color. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to be speaking about infrastructure development, right?
Yeah.
First things first, are you happy about our infrastructure in tourism?
Yes, generally I'm happy.
You're happy? Everything good?
Some not good, but the government is trying.
Let's talk about the ones that are not good. What do we do?
Pardon?
Let's talk about the ones that are not good. What do we do?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Of course, there are impacts and defects in everything, but the government is trying up. So on some of the problems, there are some solutions. We should organize, and the districts where the roads are not well, because not all the Uganda, it has no safe roads. Some districts have no roads, poor roads, some places have nice roads. So those with poor roads, they should organize, talk to their district planners, talk to the chairman, everyone concerned, then find a solution for it.
Did you march to Parliament?
I have ever went there.
Did you march on 21st? Was it 21st?
I didn't march because I wanted peace.
You wanted peace, eh? You don't want violence. Yeah. You choose peace. All right, the SE, Tourism Infrastructure Development can bring both benefits and challenges to local communities. While it can spur economic growth and improve quality of life, it can also lead to displacement and social tensions if not managed carefully. Before I get to the question, she spoke about the chimpanzees that are scaring our babies. How are we in position to manage that tension?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question.
In your opinion?
Yeah. To me, I believe those chimpanzees that are scaring the babies.
Our babies.
Our babies.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, the animals need care. Animals need care because you yourself, you come from home, you have taken breakfast, you're going for touring, and the animal since morning it hasn't taken anything.
Not even grass.
Yeah, the only thing is to provide food to them so that they can also be busy and have peace. You will come and tour, and no problem will happen.
All right. So the government is listening and it's watching. Provide food to these chimpanzees. The question is, how can tourism infrastructure be developed in a way that supports peace and community well-being? You have 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, the moderator of today. Yeah, the major point in this question, we are looking at the major point, which is tourism infrastructure development, which refers to the creation and development of facilities. And these facilities are accommodations, whereby accommodations will look at the hotels, resorts, then the recreation facilities, we look at the pools, beaches, and museums. The transport sectors will look at the airport, and we look at the train stations. Then the tourism officers services will look at the travel agencies and currency exchange officers. All these are the facilities. This is the major point that we are talking about, the tourism infrastructure development. All these are tourism sites. So my first point is the fair distribution of revenue. We all know that Bunyoro has been blessed with very many tourist sites. It wouldn't be happy all the revenue being transported abroad without we, the people of Bunyoro, sharing on that revenue, like construction of roads, everything. Would it be fair when all the whites are coming to see Murchison Falls and the Murchison Falls, its roads are poor, and the revenue is not shared fairly? So hence, the development and tourism of infrastructure support peace and community for the fair being. Yes, my next point is the careful construction of roads. These Shengri people, they don't know, people come from Kampala, they just come to construct roads. They don't know all here, there were some skulls buried, or some ivories are kept down, they just smash the road, because we want clear roads. So people should be careful. People should be careful while constructing these roads. Hence, development in tourism infrastructure support peace and community for the well-being. My second point is training skills. When you train skills, like then in Kagadi, we have the URDT Institute. All what is there, they have the museum, they have an institute that trains things of long ago. It was over last Friday, they had training how was Kabarega, things he left, how he died. We all went there to know. All those who didn't go to school, some of us who got a chance were in schools, we studied all this in history. So those who were not in schools, they all got a chance to know who was Kabarega, what are the things that he left. Hence, development in tourism infrastructure, support, peace and community for the well-being. Finally, my last point is allowing the vulnerable people to come in. These vulnerable people also have to have an ending, things to decide about tourism. All these local communities, they all need to know. It's not that only the queens, only the people have started tourism, that are the people to decide what's going to take place at Murchison. Also, these local communities need to decide and have enough. Thank you so much.
All right, the judges have some questions about sweeping, smashing the roads.
Thank you so much, Lillian. I appreciate your sense of humor. My first question, I'm actually going to just ask you what is community well-being?
Thank you so much, the judge of today. The community well-being, we are talking about the community feeling at ease, feeling happy about the things that are taking place.
I also have one question.
Yes.
You gave us examples of tourism infrastructure, like roads, the social facilities like beaches, and those others. Then you talked about hotels. So, kindly help us understand, because you have here a question that is posed to you. We need to know how these things are developed, right? They are put in place, like let's say where you come from in Murungi. If a road has been constructed, if they put there a beach, if they put there a hotel, you understand? How can this support peace? Again, how does it bring about peace and community well-being? Thank you.
You're welcome. Revenue has more importance, tourism has more importances. We look at the foreign exchange, we look at the revenue which is shared. That revenue is the revenue that works the roads. The government doesn't get its own money. Those speakers don't get their own money. It's the revenue that we do from tourism, the foreign exchange, that make roads, hence making the community happy and peaceful. Thank you so much.
Right, I love the approach, but maybe lastly from me, how do we draw the issue of accountability and infrastructure development? Because we understand there is a lot of money or revenue that is generated from tourism. The question is about accountability.
Accountability versus?
In tourism, okay.
Accountability in tourism. Thank you so much, the moderator of today. Accountability in tourism. Yeah, we have very many tourist sites, like here in Bunyoro. We have the Machizon, we have the Karuma, we have the Kalbat. All those things correct the revenue. And whereby the government needs to know the accountability. Whereby that accountability is approved. Hence, making roads, making hospitals, making hotels, providing peace in the community.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lillian, for that wonderful presentation. Talking about revenue. As Masindi, definitely we benefit from Machison revenue sharing. If you're crowned Miss Tourism Bunyoro today, me as a person, I'm a layman now, I have a challenge the way our revenue is distributed in community. It goes to groups, meaning the whole community does not benefit. Will you be in a position to advocate for the change on the way revenue that we get as Masindi is used in the district, so that the whole community that is surrounded by Machizon benefits from that revenue?
Thank you so much, the judge of today. Actually, that was my third point. I said allowing vulnerable people also access and have an ending on how to find out. Because I said it's not good people from, because whites come to view Machizon, they will not come and have an ending that, no, this Machizon, we have to do this, we have to remove these chimpanzees and put it here. Also the community. That's what the question is saying, the community well-being. So everyone should participate and have an end in this thing. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Namesake Murungi Lillian. A round of applause. Another one. Yeah, you know, it is not very easy to stand on this podium and deliver, right? The people that are in the other house outside this studio can be in position to testify. Isn't it the people that are out there? The Baganda will say, Babi Wulida. The Babi Wulida, which in Babi Wulida. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, right about now, I am going to give an opportunity to the judges to give us feedback. But before they give us the feedback, for the contestants, general feedback, I'm going to be in position to read out these comments as they prepare their feedback before they give us their juries. What? But English. Okay. Jovia Chantel is watching us live on Elkem TV. She says, well done. But also she says, calm down, my queen, and take your time. I don't know which queen she was referring to, but I hope that queen finally calmed down. Kiumuro Rachel says, shine on, girls. Wish you all the best. Glosh says, thanks. Then Kabalega Rise Media, please asimwe. And this one I'm not going to read. What do you want to do to our girls? Then Angenonga Samuel says, thanks so much for the tourism. Jovio Chantel says the girl is confident. I don't know which girl she was referring to. Her accent is also good. Am I thinking what she's thinking? I also saw some girl who had a very good accent. Sparks Clinton says Karen for life. Already done. There we go. Hope we can even stop there, Karen. Okay. Tourism. Tumusiime Thompson says we are watching live from Entebbe. Thanks goes to our own Avoli Rita and Elkem management. Avoli. Fabaliko. Nayanga abiwulira. Okay. You have good points, my queen. I guess some of the comments came through when some of you were speaking. So I don't know who is Chantel best fan here, but I'm hoping you're the one that is seated there. Josemary Kamali says you're all doing so well. May the best girl win. Yes, I also want to say may the best girl win. To Gonza Hadija, Victoria said sense to all her points. Okay. Kiumra Rachel, thanks Queen. Ndimusiima, I love your confidence. Don't feel bad if they didn't comment on you. Beyonce, these are all the things. This tourism, we are going to leave it here. Even Jen left it. She's still there. Okay. Kihumuro Rachel says, oh my Abalek clan. So someone finally got a clanmate. We're proud of you, our own. Shine on, shine on, shine on, sis. Okay. Yeah, so for those that are watching, you're in position to see what the judges are doing. You can see they are nodding heads, calculating things. We shall finally get the best girl. Deo Kasumba, Team Ayesiga. And then okay, Jessica says Team Daffin. Oh yeah. Say oh yeah. Who is Daffin? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Chantel Jovia says we still love and promote our culture. Asibazuyo Gertrude. It's always hard for the first person on the panel, but you just need to relax and bring your points home. The first person, okay? Chantel Jovia says, true, I didn't know that place, and I'm from Hoima. So people are starting to discover these places. I'm going to just wrap up the comments. Sebazio Gertrude says, going forward, to all the queens when speaking, try by all means not to mix in local languages. For example, that one, Ayesiga Jogera. But you people in the other house. Okay. And then that is good feedback. I hope constructive feedback. I hope you take it in. And then unless you're fully speaking the local language itself, then let every community member join a group. Someone was speaking about groups here for tourism, and I hope who was that? Was it Lillian? Yes. And then okay. The other comments are quite very personal, but thank you so much our viewers for keeping it live on Elkem TV. This is the Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants Debate 24. This is the second edition, and going forward we're still bringing you quite a number of editions so that you get to see what is this beauty with brains, not just having yourself vote, get you these links every morning, put you on pressure, buy votes, Whitney, buy votes every morning, Whitney, buy votes. Sibi yangu. All right, Kale, they stopped us from speaking the other local language while we are speaking English. Gertrude. All right, so I'm going to invite the judges to be in position to give us their feedback. Then, finally, they'll be in position to have their chairman. I don't know who is the chairman of that panel. Come and give us the final results. But also, our contestants and our viewers, the tables for the grand finale are still available. Please make it a point to get yourself a table of 5 at 250,000 Uganda shillings, and that table is gonna have drinks. So you're going to drink paka kolachi kuwulira bubi. All right. So the judges, anyone that is ready, can come and deliver their feedback. General feedback. Anyone that wants to say something about the debate in general, and maybe feedback to the contestants. Thank you.
Thank you to our dear viewers. To the contestants, congratulations. It has been a wonderful moment. I love the confidence. One observation I've made about this debate is, one is a usual one, because when you stand here you tend to panic. That's normal, but you need to work upon it, because you may go off track totally and then you start panicking. The other issue is when you seemed so prepared for this debate. So when a slight question was coming in, you're totally feeling the pressure on how do I attack this. But I love the preparation that was done, and I wish you all the best. Then the other issue would be, we lacked a lot of local content in our submissions. Bunyoro in particular, because I thought we are here to sell what? Bunyoro, and they are viewing us across the world on Elkem TV. So we lacked a lot of local content as far as Bunyoro region is concerned, to ensure that we do a lot of advertising. Most of you talked of attracting tourists to the region, but we didn't bring it out. Which sites do we have? If you are saying people should come to Bunyoro, where are they going? Then lastly, this would go to the CEO, that's Madam Rita Karonji. Moving forward, let us not stop at having these ladies. We crown them, they become Miss Bunyoro Tourism Stars, and then the others fall out. I love the energies of these two ladies, Jenna and Whitney. I've never met them physically, by the way, but I've been following them. I think we should remain united as far as this is concerned. We can come together and work out something. We can come together and have a proposal. Now, when we are looking at the strategies, educative strategies, I was looking at our region. We are paying school fees as parents for children to go for tours. A kid is telling you, they said we are going to go to Entebbe, we go to Aero Beach. What are they going to study at Aero Beach, for God's sake? And these kids have not gone to Imparo. These kids have not gone to Chiviro to see how that salt is processed. You've talked about sites in Chikube. Can we have that feel of, can we bring these schools on board? We first embrace our own in a region before we start taking them to other districts. So to this team that is moving out, I think this would be a starting point for us. Let us collaborate with these schools and ensure that these younger boys and girls in primary know exactly what is happening in our region. That would be my submission for now.
Thank you so much, and good evening to everyone. I'm just going to comment about the major points that stood out, or the arguments that stood out. In other words, well done to everyone for all the submissions that you've given. I'm going to start with Mbabazi Hope. These are not the results, I'm just mentioning the key things that stood out. Mbabazi Hope was very confident, and the point of eco-friendly and its example was a very good point. It gives us something to take back home and reflect and learn on. Then Pam, I don't want to mention your first name. Pam, you talked about revenue sharing agreements and how it can, you mentioned also how it can go down to local communities. That was also very nice. Another one was Asimwe. Asimwe talked about waste management and sustainable development goals 13 and gave clear clarification about what it says. Yeah. Victoria was audible, soft-spoken in a way, and then mentioned about the Uganda Tourism Act, and also kept posing questions for us. Also used a third-person narrative, and rhetorical questions where we were left to ask ourselves, oh, by the way, do I know that? What does that say? Yeah, that was also very good of her. Daffin's question was a bit tricky from everyone else's question because it had 2 points laid out. It was asking for the opportunities and the challenges. As much as she exhausted the first part, the opportunities, I liked that she kept referring to our local communities, like what the community does, how it would benefit, where are the opportunities in the actual community, not at the government level, which was also very, very good. Then Elizabeth, her question relied mainly on the educational institutions and gave examples where we even asked for clarity. She clarified and what the educational initiatives are. Lillian was our last contestant. She had a very, very nice sense of humor. I mean, we all laughed. And her question was about the infrastructure and how we relate it to peacekeeping and community well-being. Now, I also want to point out a few things that didn't go as the question expected you to do. Number 1, let me start off with Lillian as I go back forward. Lillian focused on one major infrastructure, which were roads. There is more to the infrastructure. Utility bills are under infrastructure. Telecom and network is under infrastructure. But mainly, most of her points were all basing on roads. And also about the community well-being. How is it going back down to peace and the community well-being? Like, it is not just a point of they are developed, but you get the whole point. And when she was asked if she matched, she was like, no, I want peace. You get the whole point. So it has to go back to community well-being. The person who addressed the question of, Elizabeth, the educational institutions. Elizabeth gave mixed answers where she was addressing the other institutions that were not education. Sorry. That was. Yeah. So we feel like maybe she would have addressed more parts that are basing on education. Probably, I'm just going to say probably 1 or 2 examples: mandatory school trips, project work and research, more courses in tourism, peace, and the community, something like that. Then, yeah, culture institutions, I've mentioned it already. Pam, your question required you to talk about revenue has a tangible benefit. You had to identify if at all you think revenue is a tangible benefit or not, and then explain why. In your points, you made it clear that it was a tangible point. However, your points were indicating simply revenue put. Like at the end of the day, when revenue is broken down, what does it do for the community? So all your points were basing on revenue, not has a tangible benefit, which is not. Or like governor revenue is how you get it. At the end of the day, what do we share as far as revenue is concerned? Because you even mentioned where you said revenue sharing agreements. Yeah? But what does the local person get? Thank you. Lastly, Hope talked about, gave examples. Yeah, gave examples. However, maybe we needed more clarity about some examples, but maybe it's our fault that we didn't ask. Thank you so much.
I should say I'm so proud.
Chantel! Oh my God, it's Javo again.
Spoken here. I must say we have a lot of hopes in you, and we see a brighter future of Miss Tourism Bunyoro and the region at large. We have hopes of better and better ambassadors. Well, I don't want to take a lot of time. Madam Martha has talked about some individual keynotes, right? I also noted down some, but since we are interacting in boot camp, we shall address them there, right? But maybe what we expected greatly from you was, one, you see, the way the format of the question is, you were given an essay first, right? An essay is trying to introduce you to what the problem is, or what the most important aspect you have to think or broadly elaborate on is. Alright, so you had an essay and then you had a question, right? From the essay, you would be led to the question. Now, before you think of the solution or answering the question, we expected you to at least define some key terms in the question, because we all agree, that in these questions there were key terms, right? So at least you had to help the layman or the laywoman understand, I'm giving you solutions, but the solutions are from here, or they are specific to this. You get education, sustainability, infrastructure. It was just about that. So that is what we expected. Secondly, we expected you to be confident, because when you're not confident, even though you know what to say, you end up mixing up things. Thirdly, we expected you to have researched at
least so you can come and lie to us about what you know, We would buy it, trust me, even if it was a lie, you get. But when you've done your research, who are we to question you? You get. The other thing, we expected examples. Like Madame Barbara has said, at least examples that apply to the local community. Are we together? You bring it down from international or Uganda, you lower it down to Bunyoro. Are we together? The other thing, we expected your answers to sit in. Yes, you might have researched, you have about 10 points, but maybe all the 10 points you're giving do not answer what the question is. You understand? Like you've done a lot of talking, but at the end of the 5 minutes or even extra, the question has not been answered. Are we together? So we expected your answers to sit in well with the question. Are we together? Then the other thing we expected was the flow. You start from introducing us to the keywords in the question or the essay, then you bring us down till you conclude, you get, and we are ultimately answered. So those are some of the few things we expected from all of you, but I should say you've all have exceeded, like you've performed so well. Yes, we are so proud of you, and I believe this is just an insight. You also know, I blundered here. You know very well, right? Yes, you know that maybe this was lacking, maybe this or that, but we are so proud of you, and the privilege is given to... Yeah, we've handed over the results to him so he can read out the best contestant for this debate. Thank you.
Chantel! Oh my God, it's Javo again.
So much.
All right, thank you so much. I was about to say Honorable Jacqueline. Yeah, all right, thank you so much, Honorable Jacqueline Ahura Akiki. I am blessing you to be a honorable. Okay, so that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for making it to the 2024 Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants debate. And thank you so much, our viewers, for keeping it live on Elkem TV. Now, today, I am also I am going to share the mandate of announcing the winner of this debate. I don't want things to, I don't want it to come from me. Bitandugiraho. That is how the Bunyoro say. Bitandugiraho. Yes. Bitandugiraho. I want someone else to be in position to deliver, the jurisdiction. Okay. So I am going to invite Martha to this podium. Martha Naziwa, so that she can be in position to tell us whether this was a unanimous decision or it was a split ballot, or all of them agreed that this person is the best today. All right, so Martha, you're welcome, and you can take over.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to start with, do they have their numbers? So, Murungi Lillian has... The winner is The winner of today's debate with the theme of tourism and peace there is a suggestion that I read the marks. They've refused. So Victoria Ndamurani is the winner of today's debate. Well done to everyone.
Okay. Martha, you didn't tell us whether this was a unanimous decision.
No, it was decided with no favor.
With no favor.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, did all of you say average?
Yes, average.
Oh, so it was a unanimous decision, 3 ballots, and all of them agreed that Victoria Ndamurani is the winner of this debate. The mark is quite high. It is up there, but the percentage was 90% out of 100. I don't know where we put the 10, but it is well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this Miss Tourism Bunyoro Contestants debate, and just a very simple activity. So since we are also dealing with winners as Elkem Television and Elkem Media Services, we are going to give an opportunity for Victoria to plant us a tree in our gardens out there. Yes, so that whenever she comes to Elkem Media Services, she knows that is my tree in our gardens out there. So that opportunity is going to be there. So I'm going to hand over to the MC of today so that he can continue with his online viewers as some of us go for planting, but also just briefly I will be in position to show the contestants around Elkem Media Services inside and outside, yeah, so that you get to know the place that you're in. Now, to start with, where we are seated is our studio. Yeah, you can see it, very well designed. I am very sure there is no studio in Uganda that meets this one. I am very sure. Yes, the creativity and the art that we've put inside here is unbeatable, so it is the best. So this is our studio, the main studio. Of course, we have several areas that we do the TV shows that you see on Elkem TV, and you'll be in position to see. Right behind there, that is KB Arts. That is our main content creator and photographer for Elkem Media Services. This gentleman is called Ismail Mande. Is a camera person, but also a producer. Baneke Alpha, a TV host, and our official MC with Remy, Mother of 5. I don't know if you've met Remy before, but let me hand back. With that, thank you so much and have a very good evening.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. You know, me, I'm always excited and I'm always happy. So to find me annoyed is hard, but I'm more excited today to have been hosting the 2024 Miss Tourism Bunyoro here at Elkem Media. And I want to thank all our online viewers. Thank you for following. Yeah, the contestant, the winner has been announced. I will not repeat, but I will just to inform you. Come on 10th, we are at Kabarwana Resort. For you who hasn't gotten the table, please, I repeat, please, the table of 5 with the drinks. Let me add the drink thing. With the drinks, it goes for only 250,000. Then VIP is 20K. Really, you don't have to miss this edition. You don't have to miss. And we tell you, we are going to start early at around, the gates will be open. So meaning by 2 arrivals, you can even come at 8 and you keep around. You keep looking at where your table is. Yes. Now we are going to have an exhibition outside. we are going to have a lot of things. So you can come at Kabarwana Resort and see the exhibitions, what people brought. Then as you wait for the queens, and as we end this, I would like us, we are in Bunyoro. When we are in Bunyoro, allow me use Bunyoro for the word I'm going to use. Ngwena tumalire program enu nekizina ekiaite ekia Bunyoro, then to know closing prayer. Then after that, the queens will move as I continue with my online viewers with their questions. I will answer when the queens are not there. Okay, let's stand up for that Bunyoro anthem. Then we shall have a closing prayer, and I request this closing prayer. Okay, the queens that you shouldn't like this, you shouldn't do like that. And I will request the closing prayer will be from Madam Jackie. You give her that closing prayer. Okay, let's sing the Bunyoro anthem. Bunyoro kitara tukugonzanyi naitwe nitwa abana abehanga abakutamwe kiti nisa lero turakoraki tukugize mukama nwitwiju kekitinisa ekihanga waitu Bunyoro. Okay, closing prayer.
Isite tukusiima habwa ekiro kya leero, tukusiima habwa akaire akarungi ketubaire nako hanu, tukusiima habwa ebyo byona ebibaire hanu, habwa okuba niwe watusobozeseize, tukusiima habwa abesimbireho nahabwa buli muntu ayetabiremu, tukusaba otuheereza amagezi, amaani n'obusobozi niko kya mukaaga kibe kirungi muno kandi kibe kiro ky'obusinguzi. Tukusaba otulinde, obe hamu naitu, obe hagati yaitu, byona tubisabire mu ibara lya Yesu Kristo mukama waitu.
Amina. Okay, thank you very much, and I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Elkem Media Services. I request the queens as you're moving, I continue with my online viewers. I want to thank the sponsors. That is Beckham Enterprises. Beckham Enterprises, Bakugamba, if you want anything concerning construction, just go to Beckham Enterprises. Elkem Media Services, yes, for the good services on TV, please, mutuburango tubarangire business zanyu, kandi tubagamba Elkem Media Services. We have Elkem TV, where we have a lot of shows that go on throughout, and tomorrow we're having chat spot, we're having more shows that will be coming. Then our also Aban Printing House, thank you very much Aban for sponsoring. Then we have also for Aban Printing, if in case you want a banner, they can make for you a banner. If you want anything concerning printing, Aban Printing House can do for you anything of that. Then I want to also thank Aban Chef Salon. Yes, Aban Chef Salon for the beauty okwenda kunyirira bakusiga obunono burungi iwe just genda bugenda Aban Chef Salon. Ambani Alpha, we have come to the end of this 2024 Miss Towards Bunyoro debate. Just catch us on Saturday as we go down at Kabarwana Resort. Iwe funa ticket yawe wetu gambege VIP emitwalo 2 yonka. Then na tebo y'abantu batano eri emitwaro 25 ija orore abana bano bobule mu debate ijo barole live niwo ha ku misinga such an opportunity na mberi okurura aba queens ni bali bataba queens bona. I also want to thank the CEO Rita Abwoli for the great work you're doing. Thank you very much, Elkem Production. I've been Bunny Alpha. Catch me more.